Okay, guys. Now, let's remember what we did in the previous lessons, guys. We have problem solving. We have problem solving, right? Question. And from this problem solving, from the question, we did formula or equation. Okay? From the formula or the equation, we made tables. So we have the question. From the question, we have formula. From the formula, we have table. And from the table, we make a graph. From the table, we make a graph. These four ideas, guys, we call them representations. So we have four representations. Words, which is the question text. From the question text, I can find the formula. From the formula, I can make table. From the table, I can make a graph. So we have four representations for the relationship. We have four representations for the relationship. One by words, two by formula, three by table, and four by graph. These four representations, we use them to represent the relationship. So if you have a question, problem solving discusses a relationship between two variables, you can represent this relationship into four different ways: words, formula, table, or a graph. Words, formula, table, or a graph. To understand more, let's go to the lesson, to the first page, and read some things there. Go. So we are on page 423 now, guys. Prepare your books, page 423, please. And let's read. Who can read with me, guys? Read. Rakan, read Rakan.
Yeah, mister. From the first, I can...
Yes, Rakan, read.
I can identify the independent and dependent variables.
Here, in the layer.
Learn multiple representations of relationships. Relationships between two variables can be described using multiple representations such as words, equations, tables, and graphs. By generating multiple...
So we have four representations, guys. Words, equations, tables, and the graphs. Continue.
By generating multiple representations of the same relationship, you can identify correspondence between representations. You can identify correspondence between the representation. Each representation describes the same relationship, yet in a different way.
Good. So guys, this is what I'm talking about. Any relationship between two variables, we can represent them into four representations: by words, by equation, by tables, and by a graph. And you know that we can get the equation from the words. We can get the equation from the question text. And we can get the table from the equation. We can put numbers, replace the numbers, then find the values. And from the equation, we can have the graph. From the table, Asif, we can have the graph. So the graph comes from the table, and the table comes from the equation, and the equation comes from the question text, right? These are the 4 representations, guys. Now let's go to example 1 and see what the question wants there. Thank you, Rakan.
Welcome.
Now go to example 1, guys, with Amr.
Yes, mister. Okay, example 1. Multiple representations of...
عمر علي صوتك كثير.
Okay, mister. Example 1. Multiple representations of relationships. The student council has already earned $150 this year. For the next fundraiser, they are holding a car wash and charging $7 for each car they wash.
Good. Good, ya Amr. Wait. So in example 1, guys, look here. We are on example 1, page 424. These people, guys, already, they have how much?
$150.
They are already have $157, right?
No, 150 just.
150, sorry. Now, for each car, they get how many dollars?
$7.
$7. They have already 150, and for each car, they get $7. What the question wants, read what the question wants.
Represent the relationship between the number of cars washed, C, and the total earnings, T, with an equation, a table, and a graph.
Good. They want us to represent the relationship between the car washed, and they call it C. The number of the car washed, they call it C, and the total earnings,
T.
the total money, the total earnings, and they call it what? T. So this is the words. This is what, guys? The words. The question text. They have already 150. Each car they get 7. The car washed C. The total earnings T, and they want the relationship. Now let's start with the formula. The first relationship, the first representation, which is the formula. Okay.
Okay.
Amr, are you with me? Amr?
Yeah, I'm with you, mister.
Now, they have already 150, right? Each car, $7. Stop.
Yeah.
If we have 2 cars, how much they will get?
$14.
14. If we have 3 cars, how much they will get?
21.
So if we have 2 cars, they will get 14. 3 cars, they get 21. By 4 cars, they will get how much?
28.
28. So what we are doing here,
Multiplying by 7.
stop. If we have C cars, how much they will get?
C cars.
Look, if we have 2, 2 multiply 7. If we have 3, 3 multiply 7. If we have 4, 4 multiply 7. But if we have C, because the car wash is C, we don't know the number of them. It is C. What we will do with the C? خلك معي يا ابني. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Stop. Here, what you are doing here? What you are doing?
Multiplying by 7.
Now do the same for the C. What I will do?
I'll multiply by 7.
What I will write?
C equals...
C multiply 7. What C multiply 7 is what?
It will be T.
C multiply 7 is what يا ابني؟
C.
is 7C يا حبيبي. اوكي.
Okay.
ناو يعني هذه مرة رقم 819 اللي بنحكيها. C multiply number is 7 by the C. Got it?
Yeah.
Do you understand يا ابني؟
Yeah.
طيب. Now here, let's go back to our question. T is the total money. They have 7C, right? Because each car, $7, we have C cars, so 7C. Plus, they have already how much?
$150.
So plus what?
$150.
This is what, ya Amr? This is the formula for the question.
Yeah.
صح?
Equation. Yeah. Formula.
So we have the words and we did the formula. Now what we will do,
We will do a table.
a table. So we have words, we did the formula, now we do what? The table. How we do the table, ya Amr?
We will write
Look
the
here, ya
number
Amr.
of columns.
The table has 2 columns, right?
Yeah. C and T.
What is the variable here and here? What's the first variable here?
Here
What I
C
need to
and
put?
the other one T.
Huh?
Here C.
C. Why C? Because the independent variable is C. طيب. Here,
The dependent is T.
T. Now here I need numbers, right, ya Am?
Yeah, they wrote here in the
From
back
where we
one
get these numbers?
from the question.
We choose them. We said that in the previous lesson, right?
Yeah.
Choose numbers here. Give me numbers. Small, easy numbers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1,
That's written.
3, 4. These numbers, guys, you choose them. These are choices for you, okay? Choose what you want. Now, how we fill the tables here, Yabni?
Now we will use the numbers. We will replace the
Exactly.
one.
We replace C by 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 7 multiply 1
Is 7 plus
plus
150,
150.
151.
Mumtaz. 7 multiply 2
7 multiplied to 14.
plus 150.
164.
7 multiply 3
21.
plus 150.
170.
7 multiply 4
7 multiplied 4 is 28. Plus 168.
150. صح?
Yeah.
So we did the table. Until now, what we have, guys? We have the words, the question text. We did the formula. From the formula, we find the table. And from the table, what we will do?
We'll find the graph.
We'll do the graph. We will do the
Yeah, the graph.
now. From the table, we said we can make ordered pairs, right, ya Amr?
Yeah.
I'll choose another student. Thank you, Amr.
Okay.
Ibrahim.
Yes, mister.
Yalla, Ibrahim. Do you understand what we did here?
Mister, no, in the... No, because like this, I raise my hand.
طيب, what you didn't understand?
And I don't understand how you bring the answer.
Why you bring what?
How you bring the answer.
Which answer, Yabni? We have a lot of answers here.
So can you do it?
The question.
No?
Do you understand the question?
Yes.
طيب, first we will make the formula. Do you know how we make the formula?
Okay, yes, I know.
طيب, from the formula, what we made?
A table.
The table. Do you know how we make the table?
No.
Huh?
No.
Yes or no, Yabni? علي صوتك.
No.
Okay. Here numbers, these numbers for the C, we choose them.
Okay.
How will you choose 1 2 3 4 في مشكلة؟
لا.
طيب, how we find the t if we have c from the formula? What we do?
We do 157 plus 7.
لا. We replace c by the 1, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
What it will be?
It will be 7 plus 150.
7 multiply what يا ابني?
Multiply by c equals to 1. So 7 multiplied by c equals to 7. 7 plus 150.
We put 1 here. We say 7 by 1, 7 plus 150, 157. But how about the 2? What we do here? Hello? Ibrahim.
Mr.
The 2, Ibrahim. What we do here to find the answer here?
We will multiply 7 multiplied by 2 equals to 14.
Exactly. We
And
replace
14
c
plus
by 2,
150
then
equals to
continue, right?
164. Yes, right.
So do you understand how we fill the table?
Yes, yes, now I
So
understand.
we have the words, the question. We find the formula from the question. We find the table from the formula. Now from the table, what we want to do?
We will do the graph.
Yeah. Now before we do the graph, we prepare what, ya Ibrahim? What
We
we
will
call
prepare
these?
the numbers. First, we will put one.
What we call them? What we call these brackets here? What we call them?
Variables.
No, Yabni, we don't call them variables. We call them ordered pairs.
Ordered
What we call them?
pairs. Ordered pairs.
Yeah. What's the first ordered pair here?
1, 1 and 157.
Hi, 1, comma, 157. The second ordered pair.
2 and 164.
Good. The third ordered pair.
3 and 171.
The fourth
4
ordered pair.
and 178.
في مشكلة?
No.
Now from the ordered pairs, I can make what now?
The graph.
A graph. Do you know how we graph the numbers or the ordered pairs on the graph?
Yes.
So here, guys, this one is the first column, the independent, which is C. So here is the C. And here the dependent variable, which is T. Okay. Now in your book, on the second page here.
Yes, there is a graph.
You have the numbers, right?
Yes.
Now, tell me, Ibrahim, how we plot 1 and 157 in the coordinate plane.
We go to the 1 and then we go up until 100 until 157. Yes.
And
we'll
we
go
put the
up
point,
until
yeah?
it, and we put dot.
The second point, 2 and 164. From 2, I will go until I have 164 and I will put my point, right?
Right.
3
then
and 171, this is a 3, and this is 171, and we put our point. 4 and 178, this is 4. Go up until 178 and put your point. في مشكلة?
No.
Now what we will do?
Now we will do like
a line. We will make a line from here up, and this line should be straight and pass from all the points which we graphed already. Got it?
Got it.
Do you understand it?
Yes.
So let's revise, guys, together. This is the context, the text, the words, the question itself. We call it words. This we call it representation. From the words, we can have the formula. The formula. From the formula, we make table. From the table, we make ordered pairs. From the
But from the
ordered pairs,
ordered
we
pairs, we
make
do the graph.
the graph. What we call these things, guys, we call them representations. Multiple representations means more than one representation. Yani, this representation and this representation and this representation, representation, all of them for the same relationship between the car washed and the total earning.
Mister, this lesson is easy because you are smart.
this is known thing يا ابني هذا الشيء معروف.
Mister, I have a question.
What? Ask me.
Mister, I don't understand how we got the formula.
How we make the formula?
Yeah, and I don't understand what the problem wants.
What is what?
What the problem wants. I know how to make table and I know how to graph.
طيب
But
the
I
formula
don't
خلينا the
understand.
formula. ماشي؟
ماشي.
They have already how much?
150.
هي في مشكلة؟
No.
طيب each car يا what's your name?
Rakan.
Each car يا ركان they get $7, right?
Yeah.
طب if you have 5 cars, how much you will get?
5 cards. 35.
How you get it? You multiplied with what?
Multiply by 7.
طب if you have 7 cars, what you will do?
49. Multiply by
طب
7.
if you have 8 cars, what you will do?
Multiply by 7.
So we multiply the number of what?
Of cars by 7.
By 7. طب the number of cars is what? Do we know it in the question?
No, it is variable.
It is variable and they call it what?
C.
So I multiplied with 7. What's C multiply 7? How we write it?
7C.
Plus the money which they already have, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, now I understand.
So this is the formula. Do you understand how we make the table from the formula?
Yeah, I understand how.
But the order pairs,
I know.
the graph.
I know.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Else, guys, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Nidal, Isam, Najem.
Mister?
Najem.
Yes, Mister. What is the independent and dependent? I don't understand.
Yeah, Mister, any formula, look here, any formula like F equal 2t plus 1. This is formula, right?
Yes.
Now, which variable depends on the other? F depends on T or T depends on F?
F depend.
F depends on T because if you put T a number like a 3, F will be 2 by 3 plus 1, right? Which is 7. Check.
Yes.
So if you put T a number, F will be a number. So F depends on T. We call F dependent.
Dependent.
Okay, dependent, yes? And we call T what?
Dependent.
Independent. You understand?
Yes.
In the table, the first column, we put the dependent. What's the dependent variable here?
The dependent is T.
T. So yeah, here. The dependent on the other one. What is the independent variable?
T.
C. So the first one for the independent and the second one for the dependent. Got it?
Yes.
Mister.
Thanks.
Got it, Yana Jem?
Yes, I got it.
Now in the graph, look at the graph.
Yes.
The horizontal line for what?
For independent.
And the vertical line for what?
Presented.
Do you understand it now?
Yes, no, I understand.
Good
Mr.
boy. Yes.
in the homework question 3,
Malo.
I have a question in it.
Ask me.
Okay.
Guys, we are done with this lesson today. Tomorrow we'll do more about it, okay? So this is our lesson, the multiple representations. Now let's do question 3 with Nidal. Nidal, in question 3, what are the points?
Here is P and there is E.
T with what?
E.
E?
Yes, and 1, 2, 3 in the P.
And here?
And 6, 12, 18.
طيب. How the 1 becomes 6?
By adding 5 and multiply by 6.
How the 2 becomes 12?
By 6.
How 3 becomes 18?
By 6.
So if you multiply P by 6, you get E, right?
Yeah.
So what's E equal?
E equals 6P.
Yes. ايش المشكلة؟
Nothing.
So what's your problem?
I want to share from you.
What?
Mr. Only this, thanks.
Good. Else, guys, any questions?
No, Mr. But Mr. You unmute me.
Isam,
Yes, Mr. You unmute me. I don't have a question.
طيب.
Mr.
Any
Today we will
questions,
start
guys?
the
If you
homework
don't
on.
understand anything, you can ask me. But we stop here for today. And tomorrow, inshallah, we'll continue after example 1. We have check, we'll do it together. So today you don't have homework, just revise this lesson and everything will be okay, inshallah. Thank you so much and have a good day for you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye bye.